All right, so bust out your shovels because we are talking all about new construction today. Now, new construction can certainly be overwhelming because the process differs from state to state and builder to builder. So you really got to pay special attention to what you're buying and who's building it, because a lot of these common mistakes can end up costing you a lot of money, time, and ultimately heartache when you're just wanting to build your dream home. So we're going to talk about some do's and some don'ts that you're going to want to pay special attention to. Now, if you're thinking about buying a new home right here in Michigan or building from scratch, then this video is definitely for you. Stick around to the end because we're covering all that and more, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, what's going on, you guys? If we're meeting here for the first time, my name is Meldrum. I make videos about all things Metro Detroit, what it's like to live here, work here, play here, and certainly the sunshine and the snow and everything in between. I'm also a licensed real estate professional, and I've helped hundreds of people just like you buy, sell, relocate, and invest here in the Metro Detroit market, and we want to do just that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is research the builder. Now, this is a very key component, and this is where I'm starting, because researching the builder and understanding what their track record is, what the reviews say online, how other clients view them and working with them is super important. There's a lot of builders in the area. Some are better than others. I can certainly steer you in the right direction and give you my honest opinion when you ask, but I'd love for you to do the research up front on your own so you get a good sense of what this builder is all about. So the next thing you're going to want to do when buying new construction is 100% negotiate. Now, this may seem like a simple thing, but some people go into the sales office and they just take what the builder says at face value. It says, well, this is the cost, and there's no room for negotiation. Well, that's not true at all. There's a lot of room for negotiation with builders. Now, my team and I will handle all this for you. There's going to be upgrades, incentives, and things that we could likely get for free or discounted because we are representing you. So just know that the negotiation process can be early on, and we can get a lot of things done for you that you can't get done on your own. Because think about it, if a builder is going to give you incentives, you're going to buy one house. They will be less likely to give one person who is buying one house the incentives versus negotiating with someone like us on the real estate side who are going to bring multiple clients through. And if we have a bad experience or are not getting any traction with the builder on all the buyers that we're bringing to them, then we're just going to stop bringing them. So builders don't want to tarnish those relationships with real estate teams like us, and they're more likely to negotiate a better deal. The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you hire a private home inspector. Now, just because when you're buying a new construction home doesn't mean you don't have the right to have a home inspector. We have to negotiate this up front, make sure it's part of the clause where we have a final inspection, and we're going to address things that come up with the builder. So having that private home inspector come in is your right as a buyer, and we're going to come in, and not every builder is perfect. There's going to be things that we might need to cite, we might need to correct, and there might be defects in the building process, because remember, the builders are ultimately hiring subcontractors to come in and do the work. They have somebody on staff that's inspecting it, but they miss things. So that's the point of bringing in a private home inspector, is to make sure you get a full review of the property, make sure all the mechanicals are working, make sure the electrical is good, make sure all those important components are up to code so you don't have problems down the road. One of the other things you want to add to your do list is review the contract in full. When we're looking at the contract for the builder, we're going to be using their purchase agreement, we're going to be using their contracts. So read them in full and make sure we understand all the things that are outlined in the contract. Of course, we'll be looking at it with you, but make sure you are also reading it, asking questions, and understand the exact timeline, the exact cost, if you're doing a new construction loan, when those funds are going to be released and what the trigger is for those funds to be released, and all the intricacies that make the contract what it is. We're getting a comfort level from the builder so you can progress with building your dream home on the time that you need it and within budget. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the things that you don't want to do when purchasing new construction. First up on the don't list is definitely do not skip the home inspection. We've inspected tons of new constructions, and trust me, something always comes up, and guess what? The builder's always willing to fix it. If you're calling out something that the builder has a little bit of a sore spot for, it's probably because he knew he did it wrong in the first place and he has to come back and fix it, which is costing him money. That's the only reason they get upset. Otherwise, they're happy to fix these issues because they want you to be happy and their reputation is ultimately on the line. All right, so next up is do not overlook the neighborhood. And I'm not talking about the immediate neighborhood that your new construction home is in. I'm talking about the surrounding area, what's around it. This is a common mistake that I see a lot of people make when they're looking online. They see a really beautiful home because, let's face it, A lot of new construction homes look really pretty. They put the best properties up there and they want you to buy that one. You know, it's a really good idea to make sure grocery stores are nearby. You have all the shopping you need. The commute time isn't too far from your work, right? This is all about lifestyle. So just make sure the new construction site is nearby to a lot of the things that you're going to frequent on a day-to-day basis. All right, and next up is do not assume that everything is included. You're going to walk through a model home. You're going to see basically all of the latest finishes and the best finishes that the builder has. The model homes are upgraded to the 9s. I mean, upgraded to the 10s, 11s, 12s, like, and beyond. I mean, these places are immaculate, but a lot of those upgrades are going to cost you a lot of money. If you are buying a home and the base price, what you see on the builder's site is, let's say, $500,000. Good rule of thumb for upgrades is going to be somewhere around 10 to 15% of that construction cost. Now, the one thing that's really not included in a lot of new construction here are landscaping packages. That's a big common mistake that I think a lot of people make when buying new construction is they don't account for the landscaping package or the deck or patio off back. If you drive through new construction areas, you see a lot of people where the houses are built and there's no lawn, there's no deck off the back because they didn't properly budget for it. They didn't have a good real estate team like us watching their back when making that decision. And the last thing on the list is do not rush the process. It's always going to take a little bit longer than anticipated. So if a builder's quoting you 9 to 10 months, just assume it's going to take 10 to 11 months. Add a little bit buffer in there. You know, make sure you get a hold of us early on in the process. If we are going to be selling, you know, we're going to be negotiating occupancy. Make sure your timeline's flexible. You know, this stuff matters. And if you're buying and selling at the same time, these timelines need to add up and we need to have some buffer in there to make sure you're not out on the streets when your home does sell and your home is not ready on the back end of this new construction. So just don't rush the process. Make sure you have some buffer in there. And of course, if you have us on your side, everything will be fine. All right, so in summary, we got a lot of do's and a lot of don'ts on the new construction process. You know, come into the new construction with the mindset of you're getting brand new and you're gonna be able to pick out all the different upgrades, all the different styles, designs, you know, your flooring, your countertops, the floor plan, all the elevations, you know, the facade of it. There's a lot that goes into the selection process. These do's and don'ts are here to help you make the best decisions when buying new construction. And hopefully this video has provided some insight into some pitfalls that you can avoid when wasting money, wasting time, and ultimately getting frustrated during the process. So make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or our favorite, schedule a Zoom call with our link down below. And we love to take you through the city or some of these new construction communities through our eyes, match you up with the ideal lifestyle based on what you're going for. And as always, make sure you subscribe, tap that little bell so you're the first to learn about the current market right here in Michigan. And every time we put out a new video just like this. All right, until next time, go check out these other videos about all things Michigan and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.